Happy New Year, everyone. I can hear the fireworks outside. It's a new decade. 2020s. First time I remember a future date was in the late 80s. The Transformers movie, the original animated one, the better one, in the year 2005. In the early 90s, when I asked asked my parents when that was, they said it was in 15 years. So I thought that was such a long time, And the 90s, the odds. We had just started the 90s and thought about the end. Where we ended up on the end of the 90s. Well, a very interesting place indeed. The beginning and end of each decade is an interesting place you find yourself. 80s into 90s, 90s into the aughts, aughts into the teens. This decade, falling into the next. It's been rather interesting. Technology. Philosophy. Science. Politics. I didn't think we were going to get anybody goofier than Clinton. I thought Clinton was going to be as goofy as it was ever going to get. But apparently, Donald Trump had different ideas. So, yeah. It's like, since Clinton, we just gotten more bizarro presidents than the last. Of course, Bush Jr. was probably the most sane out of all of them. He didn't do anything noteworthy. Not that I really paid attention too much to politics at that time. I was chronically depressed. But yeah, may this decade be better than the last. We've had some ups and downs, some strange things. The era of Me Too has come and passed. The era of, are you kidding me? It's like it just couldn't get any weirder, any worse, any silly, but it has. In the era where the movies are stupid and agenda taffic, and full of current ideology like wokeness and all that stuff. Trust me, it's not as enlightened as it sounds, or everyone keeps, or those who are for it can make it out to be. Any type of ideal can always easily be mishandled by anyone. A good example of that would be the short pilot episode that was just a pilot, that's all it was, of the series of The Amazing Screw-On Head. His political dedication is so extreme and passionate to the point where it's almost toxic. And in any other series, if you look at it just right, he would be his own antagonist. Not his own antagonist, he would be the antagonist of the story. Much like that robot in Big Giant Robot Head. It was just, I think it was just called Giant Robot. No, not Giant Robot. It was called Metalhead, Giant Robot Head. Damn, I forgot what it's called, but it's that time traveling one where the guy finds the robot that was sent to the past and rebuilds it and puts a giant, not a giant, but puts a car in for its head. Oh yeah, XLR, I believe it was called. Yeah, they fought a 1950s robot, so its political, you know, passion was so extreme it made it a danger to the world. Um, so yeah, so it's stuff like that. It's like anything can be taken too far. Any ideology can be misused. But yeah, that's better. So yeah, it's a new decade. AI is much like in I forget what her name is. That anime on Netflix. What's her name? And Tuesday. Um, you know how AIs are going to start playing a part in daily life. So instead of, well, it's already happened with bots and telemarketers, but Siri's and Ask Google and all that. You know, and TomTom and Susu back in the day, of those who remember. But yeah, AIs are going to be a lot more systroids, so you're able to have a conversation with your browser or desktop or operating system. You know, so you have like your own personal, Jarvis or Friday. You know, you're able to talk to them and ask them questions. So I forget what that name is, but yeah. So hopefully we'll have better internet. Hopefully we'll have better technology, Li-Fi, deep learning, house spirits. House Spirits is from one of my favorite books. I can't stand the wording of it because it's like trying to listen to a 20-hour poetry slam. It's just, oh god, it's like you have to be whimsy about describing everything. Like everything you say, the narrative is in whimsy or something like that, and it gets a little annoying. Where you can't just say it straight. It's okay, but you got to be descriptive and poetically whimsy. If you listen to it, you'll understand. It's like I got to take a break from this and got to listen to like normal speak for a while. But it's the concept of it of call it's a Cory Doctorow story, and it's called Walk Away, where people just walk away from society. And apparently, everyone in the future is like basically MacGyvers because they can jury rig like trash to do all sorts of crazy shit. But the damn thing is that everything with the DMCs, DCMs, copyrighted, uh, um, not material, but like technology, you know. Like I can't crack this open if I was some sort of super genius and have it be, reconfigured with like a laptop or a bicycle or something. It's by law I can't monkey with this, even if it's broken and I know how to fix it and fix it easily. I don't have the right to. I can't break the seal on the back and open it up and fix it myself. I have to go out and buy a new one. But yeah, in Walk Away, um, fantastic technology, but it gets a little annoying when they say, "Yeah, of course we made supercomputers in this junkyard in the middle of the forest, underground." And it's like, so you're all a bunch of hippie MacGyvers? Is that like seriously? So it's a little bit of disbelief in the fact that everybody is like this technological whiz. Uh, but in the series, one moment after, and then the day after, and then 1 year later, they had the opposite effect where an EMP goes off, block, you know, blacking out, knocking out all of U.S.'s power, and there are no technicians anywhere. And it's like we had to look up, National Geographic's, magazines and that were left in a basement in a college or something like that to find a know how to make an electric generator because apparently nobody has any technical training whatsoever in this town. And it's like, where are all technicians? Shouldn't the U.S. government be scrambling to get all their electrical technicians to get all the power plants going again? Like that's all you would have to do, right? I mean, just get stuff going. Just focus on that at least. But apparently they all just miraculously disappeared, like it was the second coming or something. Sorry, the rapture, where it's like they all just disappeared when the EMP went out or something. It was weird. So yeah, it took them like 2 or 3 books to build a dam based hydroelectrical generator to power some lights and a boom box for about 30 seconds. Yeah. So, um, yeah. So in Walk Away, there was. Let me get back to the house spirits. In Walk Away, they do a time skip later on. It's at the end of the story where they shows them making stuff like hobbits, where they just build these tunnels and these things and these houses out of dirt and moss and AI. So AI is like running, not running anything, but monitoring everything, helping everybody keep track of who's done what, where, what needs to be cleaned next. So it all keeps up with the schedule. Time skip later, they have house AI. So instead of just a rudimentary checklist or something like that, it wasn't really described, but in the future, suddenly the house spirit was a neuroclone AI who basically lives in the house structure and um, helps you. I'm not entirely sure what they were. They were just there, but they were like C3PO basically. They talk back to you. They say how things are running. They equalize the heat pressures. Everyone feels comfortable. So that's just basically a maintenance AI for the house, and people talk to it. But it's an interesting concept. I wish they kind of ran a bit more with it, but yeah. And the ending of that one's a lot better than the endings of a lot of the other books I've read, because the other books live kind of just stop. They just do this and then we stop, and it's like, so what was the resolution of all this? Well, whatever minor drama there was, yeah. The only time I felt anything close to this probably would have been the first Immortals, which is a sequel to The Truth Machine. I believe that that's the right order. Um, or was it the other way around? I forget. But anyway, the one at the ending where everyone's okay, we're alive, and we're resurrecting the dead again, which is pretty much that too. At the end of this book, where everyone's still alive, no one died. People got old and they were separated for long periods of time, but we're all back together now, and we're all getting along. There's no war. The tension is over. Not that the tension was any real in the way of life threatening, and it all got political, so it was politically ended, which is incredibly anticlimactic. But it ended on a good note that technology is advancing and none of us are in trouble anymore, and we can do more of what we want to do and not be hindered by the man telling us what we can and cannot do with technology. Even though we're not hurting anyone, we're not going off and hurting people's wallets or causing trouble. We're just having a good time. We built a party machine for a party. We're so evil. That's what the fact was at the end of the books, at the beginning of the books. At the end of the book, where it's like, yeah, now we can do shit. As long as we're not hurting anyone, we're fine. So that was a good note to end on. Uh, Rindy was pretty good. That whole subplot about the VR was pointless because it just drops off about 80% of the 80% of the way through. It just drops off. Um, it's not necessary anymore. So why bother bringing it up again? Uh, Snow Crash was pretty good, very 90s, much like the 2 other books I referenced, The First Immortals and Truth Machine. It's written very, very 90s. You know, the advancement of technology, how we got there, what the technology is like, how user friendly it is, leaps and bounds. In 20 years, we all get flying cars. The 90s mentality of what the future will hold. And no, we still don't have flying cars. Maybe we'll get flying cars in the next 10 years. Who knows? Um, yeah, so maybe in 10 years we'll get more integrated AI adapt housing. We'll have cures for more diseases. We'll fight less. Hopefully, we don't have a war. We don't have more problems with the Middle East and China and embargoes. We don't have to deal with stupid presidents and corporate mandate and the man and chronic economic disasters. And hopefully, if God willing, better movies. But enough well wishing. Excuse me, I gotta get a soda and another hot dog. So to all of you, all my subscribers and all those who will see this in the future, this is your I don't know, what would you call me? I'm not your fearless leader. I guess I'm more of your guide into the wacky, wacky world that is life. And otaku life, nonetheless. And I'm an otaku. That's evidence behind me. That is evident all around me. Yeah. Times must change, and so must I. So, and I know it's hard to be brave in this new world of wokeness, but be brave, be strong, and be daring. If you never try, you'll never get anywhere. I've never gotten anywhere in 20 years. But it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk about it. Just be humble in your actions. That's it. That's what I try to be. Just open my mouth and just say hi and how are you? And may I? That's it. I'm not evil. I'm not egocentric. I'm not an asshole. I'm just a guy. That's it. So, until next time, fair, faithful viewer, in the new decade to come, as always, see you at the movies. As soon as there is a good movie to go see. Seriously, though, what the fuck were people thinking over there at Disney? Killing off old actors, okay. Blowing up the Millennium Falcon? Really? Like that wasn't going to go over terribly. Oh, God. It's done. It's put to bed. Let's just move on and hope there are better films to come. That movie, The Gentleman, looks pretty good. Well, we'll find out in January 27th, I believe. So, yeah. Take care, all, and see you at The Gentleman then.